Guys, one thing I do a lot of is, let's say I choose something and I get tired of chewing it. A lot of times I'll take and spit, sort of spit drool, the unchewed portion into my milk. Mostly my diet is milk for the last 20 years, but I do eat other things. In this case, this orange slice yielded its juice, which I swallowed, but now I have a bunch of fiber. I could sit here and chew it, but a lot of times I'll spit drool it into the milk just to let my jaw rest and come back to it later. It maybe softens whatever I've spit in there. It's not always this kind of fiber. It could be other stuff, but it'll soften down there. Eventually I'll pour the milk and I'll get that, whatever it was. It might have broken up and spread out a little bit. If you still see me, there's still a little bit in there, but I think it's not. A lot of people might say it's gross. I don't think it looks. It might be gross if you did it like if you had a plate of food and you got tired of chewing and just sat it on a plate. I don't think it looks as gross spit drooling it into this container. I I happen to drink all my milk straight from a container, and my container, no one else in this household uses a big container like this, so no one gets milk out of this but me. Now, if you didn't, if you shared a milk container in a household, which probably most people do because most people don't drink as much milk as me, you might not, you very likely wouldn't do this because a lot of people would think, oh, it's gross, it's down in there that someone else chewed. In my mind, it still wouldn't be that bad because what's the concern? That someone's saliva got on there and then a second person drinks a little bit of that saliva. But that saliva is really diluted. It's very dispersed. It's like a few drops of saliva dispersed through several liters of milk. But it's everyone's individual choice. I would suppose that if I shared a milk container, well, if I happened to share a milk container, if I lived with someone who drank a lot of milk like me, maybe we'd have our own containers. Anyway, but if for some reason I was sharing, I could imagine people who really wouldn't worry about sharing this container, even if someone else had put their half-chewed food down there. It's sort of there's many different values that people have in life and and lifestyle. I would say anyway. If you don't, I like the milk thing. If you want to use the principle of spitting things out before you finish chewing them because your jaw is tired, but not wasting that food. The nice thing here is that I don't waste that food. I finish it later. I can think about that. That's conceivably a second topic. There might be ways to do it, but I think it probably works best with a milk and in a milk container. If people don't drink as much milk as me, maybe people could have half gallons, which is half the size of that, which they drink from their own container, or even quarts, which is a quarter size of that, where they drink from their own container, and then they can add whatever they want to it. But There are other ways I use this idea. I would anticipate making more videos about this topic, but that's a short introduction. You like my content, please rate, comment, and subscribe. And if I think of things to add, I'll write them in the description under the video or make another video, which I kind of anticipate doing anyway. But I'm putting out ideas that people may not have thought of. And once they hear the ideas, they may not like them or use them, but I like to give options. It just gives people another option, another way to do things. And I think options generally are good. So you can use it, maybe use it but modify it, don't use it. You may feel like spitting on this idea, no pun intended, but at least you now have an idea you may not have had and some options. Guys, maybe you figured this out, but if you have half chewed stuff in here and you tip it back and you get some of that and chew it some more and your jaw gets tired, there's nothing that would say you can't just spit it back in again. I think I do that. It can slowly get eaten. A lot of times that second time I get it done there, but I get it finished eating it. But I think occasionally I end up even spitting it back again. Or rather, spit drool. It's not a heavy spit. It's kind of letting it kind of slide and ooze out of your mouth. But there might be a little force applied, I guess, which makes it a little like spitting. Guys, I should say too, if I got some of this in my mouth when I took a swig and I chewed it and I'm still tired, I might actually spit it into the next milk container, because I often have sort of opened the next one when I'm drinking this one, but that'll be another video.